feel so happy, that I'm one of the few people who, can actually say that I love what I'm doing, and to have gotten to the point where I'm at today, it's amazing, and I still can't believe it.
So when you first started off in the scene, were you more of a DJ or a producer? Did you start off just making tracks and get pushed into the scene, or?
Definitely more producer. Yeah, I started out 100% producer, and then the DJing was kind of, first of all, it was something I held off on because both me and Ash wanted me to be comfortable enough behind the decks, and especially since I started as a producer, so that it would be good, from the moment we started touring. So I started off kind of with pretty good gigs, almost straight away. And then I just went into touring, and I've been doing it for 4 years now, and almost constantly,
So has it been difficult in any ways trying to figure out how to DJ on the go?
Well, I was obviously practicing before, and I remember I was doing a couple of underground, incognito gigs in Sweden before I actually tried something on for real. But I got into it pretty quick, especially with such a, the schedule I've had has always been so hectic. So, I got into it really quickly.
So is Ash the man who discovered you? Were you just a regular Swedish teen producing music for fun, or were you driven for superstar status from the start? Did you envision yourself being here?
I didn't envision, not at this level, but I was definitely very focused already. I was already really driven and spending almost, 24 hours a day, working on music. But I had a couple of, shitty record deals and stuff like that, and but I was really dedicated. But then when I met Ash, he just took it to a whole nother level, professional. When I met him, he really took me out of nowhere and then really built my career, And I wouldn't be here without that.
We've come a long way since that day. We will never look back at the faded silhouette. We've come a long way since that day. We will never look back.
I know you're only in your early 20s. Has being essentially shoved into the forefront of the mainstream music scene allowed you to enjoy your youth more, or has it hindered your freedom in some ways?
There's of course there's always stuff I miss out on, but then again, I've obviously feel like it's so much more positive things about it, and I don't feel at all crippled by it or anything. I just feel so happy, that I'm one of the few people who, can actually say that I love what I'm doing, and to have gotten to the point where I'm at today, it's amazing, and I still can't believe it. So yeah, I'm just very happy.
What do you think of detractors that attempt to claim your sound is too mainstream?
Everyone has their own music taste. I don't know. I haven't changed my sound a bit from when I started to now in order to please the mainstream. I've always been doing the music I'm doing now. I've always stayed true to myself, and the music has become more popular, and the mainstream has opened out to a lot of more instrumental tracks and stuff like that, and I've always been interested in doing these kind of really melodic, uplifting tracks. So when I just kind of laugh when I see people telling me I've sold out or something like that, because I haven't changed anything.
So I was wondering, do you find it bothersome at all when people say things like that? Because as you said, you've been creating the same sound for a very long time. So you haven't changed. The only thing that has changed is more people have discovered you. So does it feel weird to have people essentially hating on your success?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning it bothered me because you're like, oh yeah, I want to tell this person that it's not like that. You know, like, are you stupid? Just look at, my music then or look at my music now. But then, I just kind of noticed the better things go, like everyone said, the more haters you get, like by default. And I mean, you can't say it to everyone, and I mean, it doesn't really matter anyway. So right now I just kind of like brush it off and don't really care that much. But obviously it's an annoying thing, but it's just something you have to overlook.
What was the inspiration behind your new stage production? Because you have a really, really innovative stage production.
No, that's kind of something that's been between the people that we hired to create the production and my manager, who's been the person who's been, back and forth with them about it. And I've obviously always been updated and, but haven't been been in charge of that or at all because I didn't have to, I trust Ash 100%, and after seeing it, like I know, it's one of the coolest things I've seen, and I was so happy when I finally got to see it. And since now is the first time when I'm actually like getting a little bit more involved because I'm switching around some stuff to make me feel more comfortable up there. But other than that, I didn't have that much of a part in it.
So what was the inspiration behind Levels? When you first created the track, did you know you had a hit on your hands?
Not really. I mean, I did really like the track, but I didn't think it was anything that special. I did it in a couple of hours, sounded like a flight. Yeah, I was going to Monaco and I finished it, and then I started playing it out for that week, the first week I made it, and I started getting like really good reactions almost instantly. And then I put it in, I was doing a BBC Radio 1 Essential mix, and I put it in there, and then that kind of YouTube clip of that particular song together with another track I had called Penguin or Fade into Darkness, I started getting a lot of views. So then I could kind of tell that was something that people really liked, but I had no idea at first.
How did you go about becoming the face of Ralph Lauren? Are you particularly interested in men's fashion, or was this more of a business collaboration?
I mean, it's both. I've always really liked Ralph Lauren as a brand, and both me and my manager have been looking for a while for like a brand to kind of affiliate ourselves with, and we've gotten a lot of offers from different brands, but like it's not about money either, and we've been offered a lot of money from other people, but it's just like have to be something that feels right. And Ralph Lauren just instantly felt like, I already have like 100 shirts of Ralph Lauren, so it just felt really good to begin with.
What's the craziest thing you've ever seen a fan do to get your attention?
I just have a couple of times when like girls jump up on stage and like trying to hand me their phone number or something while I'm playing, and like especially when it's like arenas, it's like massive productions. So to like get up on stage to begin with is like hard, So like I'd say it's kind of crazy. Or like tattoos. I've seen people, I always get like, oh shit, when I see like Avicii tattoos or tattoos with my song names and stuff. It feels so surreal.
You made so many fans happy by returning to EDC Sunday night. Run me through your thought process once the event was shut down due to wind. I
mean, it was obviously very disappointing at first because it was one of those gigs and one of those festivals that I'd been looking forward to for a year since last EDC. And it was like right before I was standing there where Calvin was playing and he went off, and they're like, first I thought I was still going to be able to play, but then it just kept taking longer and longer, and we were kept there just in case, we were going to go on, but then we kind of figured out it's not going to happen, and we're like, oh shit, nothing we can do, it's no one's fault. But then the next day, like Insomniac invited us to play again, which was amazing. Even it was just half an hour, but I tried to make the most of it, and I played a lot of my new songs. And just being up on that stage with so many people, it's really an amazing experience.
Building on that, since you've been growing so much as a superstar in the past few months, is it weird in any way to be on a stage in front of that many people? Do you get nervous anymore, or are you just used to it at this point?
I mean, I'd say I've gotten pretty used to it. I mean, if I do get nervous, I'll get nervous maybe like right before going on, like the 2 or 3 seconds when I go up there. But then like the second I go up there, it's just like I'm not nervous anymore. And I'm not really nervous 5 minutes before the show or anything like that. So I've gotten pretty used to it.
So you've essentially made it. What's next on the agenda for Avicii?
Just keep doing it, keep building it for as long as I can, and for as long as I'm still loving it, you know, which is essentially what's been the most important thing for me since day one.